and a very warm welcome to this special. We're building up to the game coming tonight between Rajasthan Royals and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And the news from the Wankhede Stadium is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they have opted to bowl first. At the toss, this is what Faf Du Plessis had to say. He said, we'll have a bowl, just the trend, and with the dew effect, the pitch does look very different. So we'll have to see what the dew does. The fact that pleases me is that we hung in the last game. It gives a lot of confidence to the group, even though you aren't playing your best, it's pleasing. We're playing the same team. Okay, so the news from the Wankhede Stadium is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss. They have opted to field first. They're going in with the same playing 11 that won the game against Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, let's also listen to what Sanju Samson said, and he said he's not too disappointed at losing the toss. He says it looks like a completely different surface to the ones that they've played in the last few games. And of course, he's talked about the standards in their bowling and batting. And also for Rajasthan Royals, they are going in with the same team. So no changes there, and rightfully so for Rajasthan Royals as well, given that they've done so well. They've already won 2 games out of 2, got off to a flying start. And for Royal Challengers Bangalore, some of the players still not available, like Glenn Maxwell and Josh Hazelwood. So yes, Royal Challengers Bangalore winning the toss, opting to bowl first. Will this make a difference? That is the big question. The pitch looks very different. In the pitch report, Matthew Hayden talked about how the pitch is dry and that it is going to be good for batting, where the average score, he says, is around 160. We don't know what it's going to be like, but yes, that is the big news, that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss. They've opted to bowl first. Both Royal Challengers Bangalore as well as Rajasthan Royals have gone in with the unchanged 11.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think there was any need to make some changes to their playing 11s. Both are coming off in this match with a win, so both the teams and the players would be confident of carrying this momentum forward. But Meha, I would like to ask whether RCB fielding first will have some sort of advantage for all the spinners, especially Wanindu Hasaranga in this 11, because he has a terrific record against some of those RR players.
Absolutely, and it's a big one. I think for any team, despite, especially at the Wankhede Stadium, especially after what has happened in the last 2 games that we saw yesterday and day before, with teams batting first doing well, it'll be important what RR does batting first. They need to get to a big score. But let's take a look at RCB's playing 11 now. As we've said, no changes there, and this team looks good. The one thing, though, that Faf Du Plessis would want from himself and from his top order is to score consistently. Yeah. Now, they scored, both Faf Du Plessis and Virat Kohli scored runs. Dinesh Karthik finished it off. But in losing cause, and in the second one, it really was Sherfin Rutherford, Shahbaz Ahmed, and David Willey who were among the runs. So top order needs to fire consistently for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Of course, the bowling is a very good bowling attack. Wanindu Hasaranga will play a key role yet again, like we saw in the last game. 3 wickets, completely all over. The batsman in that 4 for 20 against Kolkata Knight Riders. So yes, it's interesting, but I think what is also interesting is that Rajasthan Royals will not leave it to chance. And if they want to win this, anything above 190 is important for them.
Absolutely, and 190, a score in north of 190 is expected from this Wankhede track. As you said, it doesn't have the tinge of grass that was seen in the previous 3 strips in Wankhede. So batters are going to enjoy this track. There's a hard bounce, hard track, so there will be good bounce for all the batters, and the likes of Josh Buttler, Sanju Samson. These guys enjoy. These guys like to play the ball when it's coming well on the bat. So I think Rajasthan Royals would want to go hard once again, batting first, and you see that playing 11. It's such a formidable, good, well-rounded playing 11. Sanju Samson, the captain. Josh Buttler scored a phenomenal century, the first of IPL 2022 in the last game. Then Yashasvi Jaiswal, yes, he will be under a bit of pressure given that the other top order guys are firing. So will be Devdutt Padikkal, because Yashasvi Jaiswal and Devdutt Padikkal, these two are very highly rated youngsters in the domestic cricket, and they have done well in IPL in past, but now it's time to take it to the next level. And Shimran Hetmeyer will be there as one of the bigger power hitters. Riyan Parag, Ravichandran Ashwin. Look at that bowling department, Meya. Ravichandran Ashwin, Yuzvendra Chahal, and that spin trio of Saini, Krishna, and Trent Bolt. That's a good squad.
Absolutely formidable is the word for them, because you have the dream spinning duo of Ravichandran Ashwin and Yuzvendra Chahal. What would teams do to get that kind of spin duo to be in the team? So Rajasthan Royals have that, and then on top of that, you've got Trent Bolt, Prasidh Krishna, you've got Navdeep Saini, there's Nathan Coulter-Nile, who played well in the last game, the first game, and then there's Jimmy Neesham for some backups also there for them. But it's a very good side, and it's also a side that is executing the plans properly. You know, there's one thing is having a really good side and not being able to play well, and somehow, you know, your roles are not clear, or you're just not performing up to your potential. Rajasthan Royals is doing that and some. Okay, let's also take you through our fantasy picks. By the way, if you did follow our Fantasy 11 yesterday, I'm sure you would have won, because I did. I had the same team, and Jason Holder was the change there with those 3 wickets in the last over. And I was miles above the rest in my list of players. Okay, let's take you through the Fantasy 11, and Shubhan's going to agree with me. That is the Fantasy 11 for us. Joss, the boss, has to be the captain. Yes, the credits are a bit much, 10.5. You wonder, oh my gosh, do you really want to take him? But he is Joss Buttler. He's just scored the first 100 of this IPL of just 68 balls. So we take him as a captain, and hopefully Joss Buttler will perform. Then there is Sanju Samson. We know what he's been doing for Rajasthan Royals. What he did in the first game as well. He's there. Faf Du Plessis, the class, pedigree. How can you leave him out? You know, surprisingly, for a lot of Virat Kohli fans, they may not be happy with us, but, you know, you've got to choose some.
Kohli is going to face Yuzvendra Chahal, so we are just...
Also, Yuzvendra Chahal with a point to prove. You're going to leave me? You didn't want me? He's very clear about what he said before the IPL, where he said, look, I always wanted to be with Royal Challengers Bangalore. So maybe he's got a point to prove there. Devdutt Padikkal got a 40-odd in the first game, but didn't do much in the second. Shimran Hetmeyer, hair is pink, team is pink. He's... pink with the bat. He's been performing really well. There is Sherfin Rutherford, another brilliant finisher. We've seen what he's done in the CPL. Vanindu Hasaranga has to be the captain, has to be the vice captain, simply because one bowler captain, or one, if I've got a batsman as a captain, then a bowler as a vice captain, because you've got 4 overs. So even if you don't do well in 1 over, a batsman can get out for a duck, and then you get no points for captain. So it's all about playing for points here. So that's our Fantasy 11. You tell us whether you think it's a good enough Fantasy 11. Do you think that we missed out on anybody? Let us know. But do you want to take everybody through the toss?
I don't think I think Virat Kohli fans are going to put some comments there. But yes, toss have been won by Royal Challengers Bangalore, and they are going to field first, and it was expected given the trend at the Wankhede, heavy dew playing a role. We still don't know whether the anti-dew spray will be again put on the field today. But it's a good toss to win for RCB. They have a good bowling attack, and they would want them to execute their plans without the dew on the field. So good toss to win for RCB, and both are playing an unchanged 11, which was expected given their recent form.
That's right. And there are 2 ex-RCB players. We talked about Yuzvendra Chahal, but hey, don't forget Devdutt Padikkal. He's also there and would have probably wanted to stay with Royal Challengers Bangalore, given that he's a local boy, but he is playing against them. How will he perform got a point to prove there as well. Okay, let's now take a look at head-to-head battle between the two. 24 matches have been played between the two teams. RCB have got a slight advantage just by 2 matches. And like we said, on current form, the way Rajasthan Royals have been playing, they may want to hold on to that slight edge. Rajasthan Royals have won 10, but they both have got a poor record at the Wankhede Stadium. So it'll really come down to current form, because records suggest that Rajasthan Royals have lost 7 of their 13 matches.
Absolutely, and even RCB don't have a good record at the Wankhede, and one thing is sure from this match, that either of them are going to improve their record at the Wankhede. So you can sense that that RR and RCB would go hard on this pitch, and you can see less grass on the strip, so it will be a batting paradise. Wankhede has always been a dream venue for all the batters. It's a smaller ground, and the bounce is really good. So when the likes of Prasidh Krishna comes in, Faf Du Plessis would be really happy and would really want to go hard. Matthew Hayden is saying he expects a score of over 160, but I am expecting a score of over 190 or perhaps 200 plus total.
Also, with the kind of batting that Rajasthan have, batting first, I do see them going all out straight from the word go.
True.
Jos Buttler is unstoppable. So, if the openers can even get into bat 4, 5, 6 overs, I do see them going for a big score.
But Mohammad Siraj has a terrific record against Jos Buttler and Sanju Samson as well. So the RCB would want an early breakthrough, especially when Jos Buttler in such kind of form, scoring, coming off 100.
Also, the pitch is a different pitch. So it's a different pitch that Dinesh Karthik also spoke about. Matthew Hayden has said this. Faf Du Plessis at toss also said that, yes, they're going by Dew playing a factor and then chasing, but are still not sure about the pitch. Less grass on it, more dry. Matthew Hayden, as he said, that this is going to be good for batting. So that's the pitch update from the Wankhede Stadium. Also, we know that Wankhede Stadium, boundaries, for one, shorter boundaries, and you can expect a lot of 4s and 6s. Also, just coming back to Royal Challengers Bangalore and RCB's journey so far. And that's where I feel like the confidence is with Rajasthan Royals. Not only because they won the 2 games that they played, but they won them emphatically. There's a clear winner there. And RR came good in all 3 departments, bowling, batting and fielding. So they are sitting at the top of the table, because that net run rate shows you how good they've been against their opponents, be it Sunrisers Hyderabad, who they beat by 61 runs, or be it Mumbai Indians, who they beat by 23 runs. So yes, Rajasthan Royals in that sense have the momentum. For Royal Challengers Bangalore, they lost the first game against PBKS after having scored 205, but then won against Kolkata Knight Riders. So, would be happy with their performance, but in that winning performance, there was also not their top order.
Batting collapse, collapse, and RCB would want that to not happen again against Royal Challengers Bangalore, against Rajasthan Royals. Sorry, but RCB, they have assembled a good squad, but would want their opener, especially Anuj Rawat and Faf Du Plessis, to fire all cylinders, because they know Virat Kohli will give you consistent runs in that number 3 role, and they have the firepower in the middle order and lower middle order as well. But the majority of runs needs to come from Faf Du Plessis and Anuj Rawat. RCB have played a massive gamble in trusting Anuj Rawat, the youngster, the Delhi youngster, to open with Faf Du Plessis, and we have seen Faf guiding a youngster named Ruturaj Gaikwad in Chennai Super Kings color as well. So so RCB fans would hope that the same thing happens to Anuj Rawat in the remainder of the IPL. And look at that squad. They have all-rounders. They have Shahbaz, Rutherford, Hasaranga, David Willey can bat as well. And 4 pacers with different varieties. Akash Dip can bowl quick. Harshal Patel is your death bowling specialist. Mohammad Siraj can give you overs in any part of the innings. And David Willey, yes, he can come good in the power play. He can bowl at the death. And then you have Vanindu Hasaranga, who can give you wickets at any point of the match.
Okay, let's also now talk about Royal Challengers Bangalore's X Factor. First, we already said Vanindu Hasaranga, but we've got to talk just a little bit more about Vanindu Hasaranga and how important he is for Royal Challengers Bangalore. When it came to spin options, this was another thing we spoke about, that they do lack. Other than Vanindu Hasaranga, they don't have a specialist spinner in their side. But Vanindu Hasaranga is proving everybody wrong, saying you don't need anybody else other than me. And how good has he been for them? 4 for 20 versus Kolkata Knight Riders. On top of that, the highest wicket taker in the T20 World Cup 2021, can bat, the strike rate of 148 with the bat. He's, he could turn the match around for them, which he did in the last game.
Yep, four wickets and conceding runs at an economy of 6 is terrific. And Hasaranga is a special player. He has been doing so well in T20 leagues around the world. He gets far more opportunities to bat there. So you can see that strike rate of 148 there. So he can do the damage with both bat and ball. And he has a sensational record against Sanju Samson, which we are going to talk a bit later in the show. But 4 for 20 against Kolkata Knight Riders, he broke the backbone of that KKR batting unit, and I am expecting him to come good, given that RCB are bowling first tonight.
Okay, also, like I said, in his last 10 games for Royal Challengers and for Sri Lanka, he has a staggering 23 wickets at an average of 10.91, an economy of 6.60. That is brilliant for Vanindu Hasaranga. But also now talking about the X Factor for Rajasthan Royals. Who else but Jos Buttler? Just when he gets going, he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable against the spinners, the fast bowlers. There is no way to just get him out. And that's what he did in the last game against Mumbai Indians. The best bowlers in Mumbai were unable to get him out.
Absolutely, and RCB fans at the moment would be hoping that Mohammad Siraj continues his good record against RCB, because if they don't get him early, then it's going to be another destructive knock by Jos Buttler. If he gets going, if he crosses the power play and is middling the ball well, then I think you look at that average, 42.97 in T20 since 2020. A complete batter, in my opinion. Mr. 360 degree, and can take the game away from the opposition from the word go itself.
Absolutely. Okay, also Sanju Samson's record versus Vanindu Hasaranga, or rather Vanindu Hasaranga's brilliant record against Sanju Samson. We could just put that up, and I think that's one battle that Sanju Samson would want to win this time around, because to see 11 balls, 2 runs,
3 dismissals, yeah.
3 dismissals.
Oh, terrific record, and I think this is going to be the battle to watch out for in this match, Meha, because Sanju Samson has started IPL 2022 on a great note. So has Vanindu Hasaranga. So this battle, I think, given the trend in IPL 2022, I think Sanju Samson is going to better his record tonight and give us some good power hitting show.
Yes. The other thing being, how good have Rajasthan Royals been? We talked about them winning emphatically in the first 2 games, but we were doing some number crunching, and the thing that stood out was that Rajasthan Royals team strike rate was the highest amongst all other teams in this IPL, and that just goes on to show how well they have batted as a batting unit, to have that strike rate of 10.26 per over. I think next best is 9.27, which is by Punjab. And that graph in itself showed that Rajasthan Royals really looking good. And it wasn't just Rajasthan Royals. If you could put that graph up as well, it wasn't just Rajasthan Royals. The top 4 teams that we discussed right after the auction was the team that have the highest strike rate.
True.
Be it Rajasthan, like I said, 10.07. That's the batting strike rate for them. 9.15 for Punjab,
and
then LSG, and then DC. So also, just the fact that they've all come together. Batting, everybody seems to have fired. It's not just the top order, but the middle order also doing the job for them. Also, if you could take a look at the bowling for the team so far, and that also tells you why Rajasthan is at the top of the table.
Look at that economy rate of Yuzvendra Chahal, and he wants to prove a point that it was a mistake to leave him out from the T20 World Cup, and since time he has made a comeback into the Indian team, he has been absolutely phenomenal. You look at that economy of 6 is a magic wand for any team in T20 cricket, and Prasidh Krishna has been mighty impressive as well since making his India debut. He has been doing really well in IPL as well, although his economy rate could be at the higher end, but he gives you wicket, and that steep bounce which he generates from his 6 foot 3 inches stature, that he can trouble any batsman, and we all know what Trent Bolt can do in the power play. He has an economy rate of less than 4 in power play, so that is insane. And Ravichandran Ashwin, a master spinner, arguably the world's best spinner at the moment, and you look at that economy, he knows how to choke teams during those middle overs.
You know, it's surprising that we're talking about Royal Challengers Bangalore and we haven't talked about Virat Kohli. And that also just goes on to show Virat Kohli's struggling. He did get to 41 of 29 balls in the first game. But Virat Kohli, it's been a while now. Where are the runs from him? And I think his team, if Royal Challengers Bangalore want to do well in this tournament, Virat Kohli needs to fire. Their batting revolves around Faf Du Plessis and Virat Kohli.
Yep.
And to that end, Virat Kohli hasn't fired. I wonder what must be going through his mind at the moment. You've left captaincy. Pressure sometimes can be self-created, but for Virat Kohli, he's someone we know who can deal with pressure. He's dealt with the pressure of Indian captaincy for that long and has performed wonderfully. So what is it that Virat Kohli is just not being able to time the ball as he used to? He looks good for a while, then just unable to get to a big score. It's a conundrum, the Virat Kohli conundrum. No one can figure this out.
Absolutely, and he looked good in that 40-odd run knock. He was looking good, but when you take 29 deliveries, you play for a majority of 10 overs, 8 overs time frame. You would expect someone like Virat Kohli or any batter in the world who has played 29 deliveries to go and attack after a certain stage. And 29 balls, he was looking good, and there came a period when Virat Kohli was stuck at the non-striker end. There were singles not coming, the wickets were falling from the other end, and then suddenly his knock was slowed down. It suddenly got jammed. So Virat Kohli would not want that same thing to happen, because he's batting well. Just he needs to accelerate a bit more after settling down, because RCB have a long tail. They bat till David Willey at number 8. So Virat Kohli, it would be great if Mike Hesson or Faf Du Plessis can have a chat with Virat Kohli and say, look, you take your time, play 10, 12, 15 deliveries you want, but after that we want a certain strike rate from a batter who has done all and has this range of hitting. He can hit between the gaps, and he can clear the long rope as well. So
I wonder what that conversation is going to be like, because Virat Kohli knows it all. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and yet he's unable to do it. And then you wonder, you can only talk of controllables, but then you wonder how to change things around and how to get out of that rut. And I can't imagine what that would be like for Virat Kohli. And something interesting that Robin Uthappa said in one of the interviews that I did, where he said that I wish somebody's talking to him, that someone's giving him someone's supporting him, someone's telling him it's okay. We all go through that phase in our career where things don't go according to our our wishes. So, and
Faf has a good camaraderie with Virat, has been good friends for long now, and I hope he does have a conversation with Virat in future, because sometimes simplest of conversations can give stark results, and people don't need to dwell deep when talking to such a legend, and he knows, as you said, he knows what is going wrong in his game. So sometimes simplest of conversation, okay Virat, you have taken 10, 12 deliveries, go or play all out. If you get caught in the deep, it's fine, we have other batters to do the role.
Okay, let's quickly also look at the playing 11 for both the teams before we can give the latest. The toss has been won, like we said, by Royal Challengers Bangalore. They've opted to bowl first. Take a look at that Royal Challengers Bangalore 11. It's the same 11 that they're going in with. It's a very good side. If Faf Du Plessis, Anuj Ramath and Virat Kohli can get them a good start, they have the bowling to defend any total. I mean, that's a very good bowling lineup. But can Faf Du Plessis, Virat Kohli give them a start? Anuj Rawat, the pressure's on him as well. Sherfin Rutherford came good in the last game and, played to the match situation, which was interesting to see because you don't see West Indians going for that kind of strike rate. So that was interesting. But okay, let's also take a look at Rajasthan Royals playing 11. And there you go. That team is a team that has, in the first game, posted a total of 210. In the second, 193, and have won both the games. Have gone against the tide, batting first and winning the games. And that is because that this is by far the best performing side. I know it's early days, but the Rajasthan Royals have got their bases covered. They've shown the whole team has come to this IPL party. It's not just a couple of players, be it their batting or their bowling. And of course, Sanju Samson, the captain, is led from the front. Just Buttler showing what he can do with the first 100 of the tournament. Also, our comment section is open. So if you have any comments, any suggestions for us, which is the team that you're supporting. If you're supporting Rajasthan Royals, you're with me because I'm supporting them.
I'm wearing maroon now.
He's wearing maroon, so it's bold, go bold, and Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Asaranga power.
Okay. So yes, so comment section is open, so on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So wherever you're watching us, do write in to tell us what you think. And Manohar Lal is saying, I'm Rajasthani today. Rajasthan will win. I'm with you, Manohar ji. So write in. Tell us whether Virat Kohli is going to get runs. Could Virat Kohli score 100? Do you think so? Can he score 100? I'm telling you.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that if you think he can score 100 today, then write in to us. Our comment section is open both on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Also, for all of you who've been watching us, thank you so much, first of all. We appreciate it. But you also need to follow us on News9 Sports. That is our YouTube handle. Please do subscribe to that. And if you love sports, Indian sports, international sports, sports other than cricket, everything from the world of sports will be available here. So it's your one-stop shop for all things sports. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to. So please, 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 please do that. Okay, now let's take a look at points table. Just before we get back to the game, and Rajasthan Royals right at the top with that net run rate, 2.1. And this is going to help them. At some point, net run rate always comes into play. So Kolkata Knight Riders, but that are at the second place, but also after having played an extra game. In fact, all those in the top 5, it's only Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals who played 2 games and are there, and they'd be happy. Even Gujarat have got off to a terrific start. Sunrisers Hyderabad at the bottom of the table. Who would have thought 1 week into the tournament, Mumbai CSK haven't won? Well, I don't think too many people would have thought that. Okay, Royal Challengers Bangalore, can they move up? Can they come in the top 4? They will want to, and it's important for them. Buttler and Jaiswal have opened the innings for RR.
And yes, Josh Buttler, we know what he can do with the bat, and Mohammad Siraj has the new ball as well. So that battle between Siraj and Buttler is going to be a feast for all the connoisseurs. And Yashasvi Jaiswal will be under pressure as well, because when you see a player like Josh Buttler go and score a century, you as a youngster feel, what am I doing? Because Yashasvi Jaiswal, with all the hype after that Under-19 World Cup, has not delivered, and Rajasthan Royals have put a lot of trust on Yashasvi Jaiswal to come good, and so will be Devdutt Padikkal, because Devdutt Padikkal has had a brilliant start to his domestic career. Was fantastic for RCB. Last season didn't go well according to plans, but then again he's in the Rajasthan Royals camp. So let's see whether this change will be a welcome boost for Yashasvi and Devdutt, but they need to come good, given that Buttler and Sanju Samson are firing all cylinders.
Okay, also, like I said, you can go to News9 Sports, and we've just interviewed Lockie Ferguson. It's an exclusive with us where he spoke about what it's like to be part of a new franchise, Gujarat Titans, what it's like to bowl with Mohammad Shami, and whether there were any tips shared by Mohammad Shami to him. What is it like to bowl quick? The key behind bowling quick, why he became a fast bowler. It's a wonderful interview. So if you're interested, please do go watch it. It's on News9 Sports. And like I said, it's not just cricket. You'll find things from golf. You'll find stories from tennis, athletics, and yeah, from every other sport as well. So do subscribe there. That's it then on this special Go Rajasthan. Thank you so much to Shubhayan as well. It's always nice to have him because, you know, we both can share the responsibilities and give you all the latest. So that's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.